On this episode of The Pathbreakers, the father of Philippine obstacle sports. What is your take on I know, ayoko makimarites on the Carlos Yulo issue.
Una, let me say, mahirap maging magulang.
Paano kayong nakakahanap ng atleta na isasama sa program ninyo?
Kasi ang ayoko is subjectivity. Ayoko yung favoritism and discrimination. Building better humans together. I'm a firm believer in adversity. So even during adversities, you create opportunities out of adversities. Lahat ng pagsubok ay may dahilan. Lahat ng pagsubok pwedeng malagpasan. I'm blessed with good time management skills. And I know my priorities. Know which one is urgent and know which one is important. Because not all things are urgent, not all things are important. Meron akong 800 na kaibigan. Meron akong 800 na kaaway. Ang point ko lang doon, you can never please everyone, lalo na when you're in government.
Okay, our guest for today is somebody I'd like to be when I grow up, except that I just found out that he's just 3 years older than I am, but still he's my idol in a lot of ways. He has a very successful law career. He's held key government positions. He's a very successful private practitioner, a very prominent election lawyer. He's also in the academe. He's been teaching at the College of Law of the Ateneo, I believe. And apart from that, on top of all that, he's able to manage to be a very, very accomplished sportsman and athlete, winning competitions even abroad in his age group. And ito nga sabi ko sa kanya, he was able to single-handedly elevate one particular sport, which is OCR. Ipapaliwanag po natin kung ano yung OCR later, into the major sport that it is today. And that's why I'm very curious how he is able to accomplish all these things. Nako, ayokong may makalimutan, sir. So, I'd like to mention also that you're an expertly recognized expert on PPPs, public-private partnerships. So, every time na merong lecture on PPPs at si Sir Al ang lecturer, it's an unmissable event because you learn a lot and he's able to simplify itong mga complex concepts, just like a PPP. What is a PPP project for ordinary people? And we hope that we can do a little of that today. So, without further ado, hi, Sir Al. Thanks for guesting.
That was a mouthful. But let me correct one thing. I don't think I'm only 3 years older than you.
You are.
No, I'm 61.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I don't think, without disclosing your age, I'm 61. So I don't think
You look a lot
it
younger.
may be baka 20 years older than you.
No, not really.
So I became a senior dual citizen last year, and
You definitely don't look it.
and gone through a lot, been through a lot,
And that's what we'd like to learn from. All those things that
yeah.
you've gone through. Sa mga sinabi ko na yun, sir, pagkahaba-haba ng sinabi ko na yun na accomplishments nyo at mga ginagawa ninyo sa buhay and in your career. Give me an idea, how does your day go? Ano yung isang typical day in the life of Attorney Al Agra?
siguro before the schedule, I'm blessed. And the reason why I'm able to do a lot of things is because I'm blessed with good time management skills.
Exactly.
I don't think I'll be able to do this without that set of skills. And I know my priorities.
Importante yan.
One thing that I've learned through my, courses on leadership, etc., is to know which one is urgent and know which one is important. Because not all things are urgent, not all things are important. And therefore, a particular day, I should know, because in my phone, I have a long list of to-do per day. Maliwanag sa akin doon alin yung urgent and important, because some might be urgent but not important, so pwede mo siyang ipagpaliban konti. Or some would be urgent but not important. So I'm able to do that. Every day I look at my phone because my to-do list nandun. And hopefully every day I'm able to transfer yung ibang task ko to the next day. So I teach not just in one law school but now in 4 law schools.
What? For law schools.
For
Okay.
law
Ano pa tong law schools na to?
Ateneo de Manila for 31 years. Then COVID was UP Law, Lyceum, and PLM. Ano yun? Produkto ng COVID. I'm a firm believer in advertunity. So even during adversities, no, you create opportunities out of adversities. Kaya I'm into obstacle sports, no. I'm into government, no. Ang daming challenges and obstacles, no, but you learn from them. You conquer them, and so lahat 'yon, marami
Adversity and opportunity.
Creating opportunities from adversities. It's one of the books, the first book that I read during the pandemic. It's about adversity quotient. Kita ko, wow, this captures my mission, my vision, my life. No? Naniniwala ako na lahat ng pagsubok ay may dahilan. Lahat ng pagsubok pwedeng malagpasan.
Right.
And kaya
Parang
eksakto pa yung obstacle sports, no? There are different types of obstacles and you conquer them, you learn from them. And some obstacles you can only do with family, with friends. So
that's a good symbolism. Parang may nabasa din po ako recently na libro, yung kay Viktor Frankl. Ang sinasabi nga niya, lahat ng klaseng adversities, lahat ng klaseng challenges, kasi siya, naging victim siya ng Nazi Germany, napunta siya sa concentration camp. Pero wala na siyang control sa buhay niya kasi nandun lang siya sa concentration camp, he's suffering from all these torture, hunger, everything. Pero ang makokontrol mo lang daw yung reaction mo dun sa adversity na kinakaharap mo.
Yeah.
And that's very powerful.
mahalaga yung mindset eh. Kasi kung defeatist ka or pessimist ka, then opportunity, then sacrifice, then walang mangyayari. So kailangan, yes, may dinadaanan akong obstacle, pero malalagpasan ko rin yan.
Right.
Kailangan ng training.
Kaya very good exercise yung OCR.
Ang dami ko nang dinaan ng pagsubok sa buhay at my age. And lahat yon learning. Lahat yon, kaya pala nangyari yon. Now I'm a better person. I'm mature even as a father, as a husband, as a teacher. I mean, I treasure and value all the experiences. Now, I mean, without those kasi I don't think I'll be here. No.
So magsimula tayo, sir. Graduate kayo from the Ateneo College of Law mga 1990, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
1990. So, did you plunge right away into private practice? Ibig sabihin, pinractice niyo po ba kaagad yung abogasiya pagka-graduate niyo sa College of Law?
Konting rewind from law school because I was already in social development before
Social
then.
development, okay.
I was union organizer.
Nung law school?
Even before law school.
Even before law school?
And that was my motivation.
Amazing. Paano po kayo na-involved sa union? Were you...
Sige, konting balik pa doon.
Konting balik pa. This is very interesting for me.
Ano yun? Major shift. I joined yung... Basta ikaw, Lord, sa Ateneo, sa UP. Sabi ko, there must be something more to studying. Then, thought of becoming a priest. So, I entered the pre-novitiate of the Jesuits. Buti na lang, di nakapasa, I suppose. So, that opened yung orientation ko helping the marginalized. Doon nag-umpisa yung aking, even before law school, being an educator, popularizing the law. Kasi yun ang objective ng Saligan, Sentro ng Alternatibong Linga Panligal. So I was a co-founder of that organization. So doon nag-umpisa laymanizing the law. Kaya hanggang ngayon dala ko
Demystifying the law.
Correct. Demonopolizing the law.
The law.
I firmly believe that law is
para
not just for lawyers.
Para mas maintindihan ng pangkaraniwang tao.
Kaya ang bigat ng programa namin noon for paralegals, workers, urban poor settlers, farmers, teaching and walang dependence on lawyers. Kaya hanggang ngayon dala-dala ko 'yon. So even before law school, that's the reason why I entered law school. To give back. Then when I was in law school, I was working and dire-diretso yun.
Working as
As the executive director of Saligan.
Saligan, right,
Yeah,
right.
so-
It's an NGO.
So I was a
Mm-mm.
working
student.
although wala talagang working program at that time sa Ateneo Law School, so that was a struggle. An
Balancing law school, another obstacle that you overcame.
in itself. So then never entered a law firm after law school.
Talaga
I
po?
formed my own law firm.
Kaagad-agad.
Yeah,
Oo.
kasi tuloy din yung Saligan.
Hindi nyo ba naisip, sir, na kasi sinasabi nila nung nasa law school kami, lalo na nung papalapit na kami ng 4th year, kailangan mong mag-training muna sa isang law firm to learn the ropes. Kasi kung magsasarili ka kagad, hindi ka matututo mula dun sa mga mas veterano sa
Kasi
sa
I was
law
already
practice.
able to establish my niche even at that time.
Because of your Saligan work.
Because of local government. Not
Because of
too many
local
people
government.
then. At that time, bago pa lang yung local government code, wala pang nagbasa nun, wala pang quote-unquote expert.
Yan, 1990s yun eh.
Yeah.
Yung local
Yeah.
government code.
Yeah, it took effect 1992. So,
Oo.
from Saligan, ako yung nag-aral nun. So, from local government law,
Bakit
then-
yun naisip na local government?
kasi
Kaaralan yung local
there are
government law.
provisions in the local government law which promotes democratization.
Amazing.
Kaya mahalaga
Oo.
yon for the sectors that we serve. So 'di ba may mga special bodies, may referendum, may initiative, may recall, may partnership. So mahalaga yon. So yun yung naging tinuro namin nun for all sectors.
Mga measures that can empower
Correct.
The grassroots, ordinary people.
So kakabit din yun yung teaching ko about local government law. So may parallelism. Then nakilala ako ng ibang politicians because of my relationship with local government officials. Then doon nag-umpisa yung election law
Practice.
and
oo.
governance. So
Still with your own law firm or your own private practice. Yeah.
private practice. Ano naman yun sole prop.
Right.
So
You got into election law. So, sa mga hindi po nakakaalam, medyo niche practice po itong election law. So,
Yes.
not all lawyers can claim to be election lawyers or can claim to be good in election law. In fact, I'm not too sure now, pero sa law school po, elective na yata siya eh. Hindi nga yata siya required
pabago-bago ang
Pabago-bago,
curriculum.
oo.
Right now, I'm teaching a 1-unit subject on
election
law
Oo.
sa Ateneo Law School. Nung summer, election law on Lyceum, sa
Right.
Lyceum. So,
It's not considered a major subject.
but it's
Oo.
a part of the bar.
It's part of the BART. That's
Yeah.
true. Oo.
And kung titignan mo yung bar exam nitong nakaraang Sunday,
Right.
and na-anticipate ko to, there was a question about nangyari sa mayor of Banban.
Wow.
Although,
Oo.
iba yung pangalan niya.
Oo.
Ang name sa bar question si Fogo, provincial governor,
Okay.
and Vietnamese citizen. So medyo
So it's about citizenship. Oo.
So citizen. And I'm part of the team sa UP College of Law na who will propose the suggested answers
To the bar exam
to the
questions.
which will be submitted to the Supreme Court. So yun yung aking medyo urgent and important that I have to do before Thursday. Kasi Thursday yung meeting.
Sir, sa election law practice, linawin natin. Kasi tayo ay isang bansa na may eleksyon kada,
3
hindi lang
years.
yata, kada 3 years.
No,
may barangay,
actually,
may
may barangay
barangay
pa nga.
elections pa. So, medyo madalas-dalas yung election po sa atin. And so, especially yung mga abogado na nag-specialize in election law, talagang nagiging busy sila during election season at hindi lang during, even after, kasi
Correct.
may mga
Mga
protests.
protesta.
So anong mga aspeto po ng eleksyon ang nagiging bahagi ng trabaho ng isang election lawyer?
By the way, right now, I don't really handle cases. It's really more teaching and
Teaching
giving
in the
advice.
election law, right?
Kasi yung practice naman will depend on the specific electoral phases. Halimbawa ngayon, busy ang mga election lawyers and practitioners yung paghahanda ng filing ng Certificate of Candidacy. Kasi malapit na eh.
Malapit na.
October 1 to 8 eh. Isa pa
Right.
doon is pagpaparehistro kasi pwede pa magparehistro as a voter come September 30. So yun yung medyo first. After that, filing na ng Certificate of Candidacy, dyan magre-ready ka na ng mga disqualification cases.
Tama.
No?
Oo.
So hanggang hanggang campaign period. Pagdating
Right.
ng campaign period, monitor mo naman yung mga expenses, permits for rallies, do's and don'ts ng campaigning. Then pagdating ng election day up to canvassing, yung mga lawyers nakadeploy naman sa iba't
Totoo.
ibang lugar, no? Tapos after proclamation, lawyers naman busy to file election protest cases.
Correct. Kasi
And
hindi pa patalong mga walang natatalo
Wala
sa
namang natatalo
walang
sa-
natatalo sa eleksyon natin, nadaya lang.
And even after that,
Oo.
'di ba ngayon may mga final na co-warrant to case against Alice Guo, so continuation yan.
Continuation. So,
So-
even after election period, meron pa ring mga trabaho na kailangan gawin, especially if may mga naupo na hindi naman talaga qualified.
Kasi yung ibang lawyers, seasonal lang sa election eh. Yung iba talagang ito yung kanilang
bread and butter. Right.
So there's handful of lawyers na ito ang bread and butter. So
Sir, I'd like
yeah.
to pick your brain a bit on that kasi you were an election law practitioner but you teach election law and therefore you have the benefit of both theory and practice. And election, I believe, ay isa sa mga bagay po na napakahalaga sa ating bansa, sa ating lipunan, and one of the reasons why perhaps hindi ganun kabilis ang pag-angat ng ating bansa dahil sinasabi nila ang daming mali
Sa batas.
sa ating batas, sa ating electoral processes. And, isa na lang sa mga pinakatalamak na problema natin kada eleksyon ay yun pong vote buying. Kasi ngayon, medyo nadidinig ko, tumataas na ang presyo ng mga, yung going rate na tinatawag nila na binabayad even for just local government offices. And kaya nagreklamo tayo, bakit ganito ang mga naboboto ng mga public officials, mga naging corrupt, baka incompetent yung iba. Nagreklamo tayo that we don't have very high standards of our public officials kasi nga sinasabi nila basta magbenepisyo lamang tayo financially, yung tinatawag nating vote buying. Kasi ito pong problema na to pinag-isipan ko na rin bilang ordinary citizen. Paano po natin ba, may paraan ba sa tingin nyo na masugpo natin yung vote buying? Kasi po, if I may, si VP Lenny got into hot water. Remember during the last election campaign, sabi niya, tanggapin nyo na lang. Kasi yung mga tao natin nangangailangan talaga ng pera eh. So hindi maiwasan na matempt na tanggapin yung pera na ino-offer sa kanila ng isang kandidato. So sabi nga ni VP Lenny, no, na I'm not sure if she was saying it in jest, tanggapin nyo pero iboto nyo pa rin yung nasa konsensya nyo. But sabi sa akin naman ng mga nakakaalam, it doesn't work that way. Kasi itong mga vote buyers have a way of knowing kung sino yung binoto mo. At lagot ka kapag hindi mo binoto yung nagbayad sa'yo. So, ano pong tingin niyo sa problema na to, sir?
Siguro ang sagot ko, I'll focus on the legal, not really more on the political and governance kasi that's not my expertise. Marami talagang kailangan baguhin sa ating batas, no? And let me focus on that. Let me ask the question. Kailan mahalaga to, no? Kailan ka ba nagiging kandidato?
Okay.
And under the automated election law, you're not a candidate when you file your certificate of candidacy
Kailan po naging kandidato?
at the start of the campaign period.
Okay.
So, ang deadline ng filing ng certificate of candidacy is October 1 to 8. Pero ang campaign period for national is February.
Ang tagal pa.
Ang campaign period ng local is March. So, what happens from the time you file up to February and March? Anything goes.
Kasi wala pang prohibitions on
Kasi the prohibitions
restrictions on campaigning.
under the automated election law, the prohibitions, the unlawful acts will only happen when you become a candidate.
Which doesn't make sense.
But that's the law.
Oo.
And therefore, kung ako bibili ng boto ngayon, I'm not liable for vote buying.
Totoo po ba?
Yes.
So kahit na harap-harapan,
Ngayon,
mag-distribute ako ng
Yes,
pera
because no one is a candidate today. Wala ka pa nga filing ng certificate of candidacy. Quote-unquote, bumili ako ng boto sa October 9. You're not a candidate. Nagbigay ako ng napakaraming ayuda sa Disyembre.
not yet a candidate.
You're not a candidate.
So
You're-
hindi pa siya vote buying.
Correct. Ang tawag na, you're an aspirant.
Aspirant.
You're a filer. Or sabi ko,
Kahit
you're
na
a
po
dreamer.
nag-file ka na ng certificate of candidacy at nagdeklara ka na, natatakbo ka.
That's the law. Which
Because that's the law.
people want to correct.
Sir, that seems to be a very low-hanging fruit na tapang napaka-obvious na
Pero
kamalian sa batas. Bakit hindi pa po natin
Because I suppose, ba't mo
Naaamenda.
babaguhin ng isang bagay na you
na
benefit from?
nag-benefit sa'yo?
So, you don't have to account for your expenses because you only account for your expenses when you become a candidate. So ngayon, ang dami, galing akong Baguio, ang daming posters. No, every time you go around, ang daming billboards.
Meron nga pong mga politiko. Nagpunta ako sa Siargao recently. Parang, hindi po ba may mga puno sa kalye? Bawat puno, may mukha niya.
And so, right now, walang restriction
Walang restrictions.
because you're not a
Oo.
candidate.
Right.
Billboards na napakalaki, you don't have to account for them. Kaya sa isang banda, sino lang ang kayang maglabas ng billboards and a lot of posters? Yung may kaya.
Correct.
Paano kung wala kang kaya,
Mm,
pero magaling ka?
correct.
So, may disadvantage. Marami pang advantages even for incumbents.
Dahil may access to...
Example. Okay, and this is a Supreme Court case. May sports program si Mayor. Nagbigay siya ng basketball, name and picture niya during summertime, which is campaign period. A case was filed against him. Vote buying yan.
Okay.
Anong naging defense ni
Mayor?
Governance.
Pinopromote ko lamang po ang basketball sa ating bansa.
Kasi meron akong
Oo.
sports program.
Oo.
Kung di ko naman gagawin yun, baka dereliction of duty.
Pero bakit may mukha niya? May pangalan niya.
Kaya nga sana kung
Oo.
buhay pa si Senator Miriam, di ba, yung anti-EPAL.
Oo, anti-EPAL.
Nagkaroon ng kalamidad.
Oo.
Alangan naman ikaw, Mayor, na running for re-election, alangan naman hindi ka magbigay ng
Ayuda.
relief. And syempre, yung relief goods na yon, merong nakabasket, may picture mo.
At since hindi campaign period, walang bawal.
Even during campaign period.
Even during campaign period.
Campaign period yung case na
Oo.
yon.
Oo.
So anong naging...
Right.
Because campaign
Oo.
may specific intent.
And how
Ang-
are you to prove intent na ang intent mo ay hindi tumulong
As
kundi
lawyers, di ba? How do you prove
Napakahirap.
na ang intention mo ng pagbigay ng ayuda is to promote your candidacy or para ikatalo ng iba? Ang naging defense niya, governance.
governance? Pero alam mo sir, sa akin i-argue ko na malinaw ang intent mo na mangampanya at hindi tumulong kung nandyan ang mukha at pangalan mo. Kasi kung gusto mo lang tumulong, hindi mo kailangang ilagay ang mukha at pangalan mo dyan.
At ang advice niyan,
Oo.
dapat even before election, yan na yung ginagawa mo.
Dapat yan.
You
Correct.
set the pattern. Unfortunate na may ganyan. Maraming kailangan
Kasi
baguhin.
sino mag-aamyenda sa ating batas? 'Di ba? Ang Kongreso at ang Senado.
Yeah. So,
And these congressmen are also politicians themselves and perhaps some of them are engaged in these practices. So paano nga ba natin aasahan? Oo.
again, kung napaka-personality based ng ating kampanya, napaka-patronage ng ating sistema, mahirap talaga.
Well, we can only hope na, I don't know, by executive action or by even the Supreme Court, in cases that come before it, ma-address tong problema na to. Or hopefully, matauhan din due to kung may pressure, may enough pressure from the public for Congress to pass a law amending or addressing that mistake.
And again, it's not just one aspect of the society, no? Ang dami.
Ang dami.
Education,
Correct.
governance, not just government, pati civil society. So, national level, local level, and even in sports, because in sports, hindi siya maraming kailangan ding baguhin sa
Ako,
sports. No?
We'll get to that, sir. So, after becoming an election practitioner, ano na po ang ginawa ninyo?
One thing that was constant sa akin yung turo.
Oo. So, you've been teaching all these time.
From one
Oo.
subject
Oo.
to 6 subjects. I teach 6, aside from local government muna, then election law, then administrative law, then I teach law on public officers, public-private partnership law, and I also teach sports law.
Sports law,
Yeah.
which we will get to in a
Yes.
bit. You became head of the OGCC. Doon
Yes.
ko po unang nadinig ang pangalan ninyo. You were
The Government
the
Corporate Council. Yes.
Office of the Government Corporate Council. Ipaliwanag pa natin sa ating mga listeners. Ano po
Okay.
ba yung OGCC? Anong trabaho ng OGCC?
Ikabit ko rin yun sa OSG. No?
Right.
Kasi ang
Kasi-
gobyerno ang government agencies may kanya-kanyang abogado. Okay? Ang OGCC, abogado siya ng mga government-owned and controlled corporations and government instrumentalities. Ang Office of the Solicitor General naman ay abogado ng national government agencies. At ang mga local governments naman, may mga legal officers sila. And DILG merong legal department.
Bakit po ba kailangan ng abogado ng gobyerno?
Kasi
When?
kinakasuhan sila
Kinakasuhan din sila.
or
Right.
sila ang nagkakaso and reality, even sila naglalaban.
Even among government
Yes,
agencies.
ang dami nun.
Opo. So sabi niyo, if OGCC is the lawyer of government corporations and government instrumentalities, and
OSG.
OSG is for the other government agencies and even the national government, paano kung naglalaban-laban yung government agencies? Who will the OGCC represent?
Ang
or
abogado
OSG?
ng dalawang panig
Oo.
would be may OSG versus OGCC.
Opo. E paano kung parehong covered ng OGCC? Pipili?
No. Minsan,
Oo.
dinadala na sa korte
Opo.
or pwedeng DOJ to mediate and arbitrate.
Right. Oo. Pag government
Pero
agencies
hindi
ang
yun
involved.
uncommon, ha? Ang daming LGU versus LGU, LGU versus DILG, LGU versus GOCC,
Amazing.
GOCC versus National Government Agency. So ang daming conflicts.
In your experience ba, most of these are mediated successfully o talagang nauuwi
Umaabot talaga sa Supreme Court.
talaga
Kaya
sa
nga
korte?
yung aking
Oo.
syllabus sa klase, ang daming cases on how the Supreme Court has managed to come out with a policy on how to resolve controversies.
Controversies.
So it's an issue of relationship.
OGCC, you became head, tapos na-appoint din po kayo eventually to OSG. Because,
And- At nagkasabay din yun.
nagkasabay po, paano?
There were 3 months na I was
Concurrent?
Government Corporate
Oo,
Counsel
oo,
and
oo.
Acting Solicitor General.
Oo.
And when I was Acting Solicitor General, I also became Acting Secretary of Justice, which was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Because according to the Supreme Court, a person cannot be holding those two positions at the same time. So that was a 15-0 vote. And hindi ko na siya minotion for reconsideration because
So you retained one position? Ganun po bang
no,
nangyari?
it was declared unconstitutional after my term.
After your term na.
Oo.
Okay.
So sinabi ng Supreme Court na mali yan, ginawa mo, Attorney Agra, ikaw ay overacting. No, the
Overachiever eh.
The-
Oo.
And Supreme Court said, kaya kung di ko na rin siya in MR because 15-0 yung vote because I was considered a de facto officer.
I don't know how it's even physically possible to be doing those very important functions at the same time. Pero dun sa tatlo po na posisyon, OGCC, OSG, and Secretary of Justice, ano po yung pinaka-challenging para sa inyo?
As Secretary of Justice kasi
I can imagine.
one aspect lang, 'di ba? Secretary of Justice level siya yung mga review ng mga nadesisyonan ng mga prosecutors. Lahat 'yun umaabot.
Right.
So nag-zero backlog ako noon.
Amazing.
1,000 cases 'yun, no?
Hindi na po yata naulit yan. Sir, for just to let you know, at one point in my past, naging po ako state prosecutor ako sa Department of Justice.
Okay.
This was in I think 2000 to 2001. Kasi before that I was
Before my
prosecutor before your time, way before your time. Prosecutor naman ako sa City of Manila. And then nung nalipat ako sa Department of Justice, sabi ko excited ako dahil mahahawakan ko yung mga high profile criminal cases. Ang trabaho po kasi ng ating mga prosecutors para sa sa kaalaman po ng ating mga listeners, ay mag-prosecute on behalf of the state.
Correct.
Kaya po tinatawag na people of the Philippines versus so and so. Yung mga criminal cases po kasi tinataya ng ating batas na merong stake, merong taya ang estado dito na protektahan ang ating mga tao. Kaya people of the Philippines po yan. At ang prosecutor po ang abogado ng people of the Philippines. Pagdating ko po sa Department of Justice, ang ginawa ko lang po puro review. Hindi ako pa nakapag-handle ng mga kaso. But on that point now, alam niyo ang common reklamo ng mga tao ngayon, dahil sabi niyo nga zero backlog kayo nung panahon niyo, ang common reklamo ngayon, inaabot ng taon yung mga appeal sa Department of Justice.
In my 4 months as acting Secretary of Justice, kasi hindi lahat ng records umabot sa akin. There are 1,000, roughly 1,000. So, ang umabot sa akin ng records was 800 and I was able to resolve all the 800.
Paano mo bakit hindi umabot yung iba?
Hindi
Hindi
yung ibang
oo.
files hindi
Intact.
hindi intact or hindi na-elevate sa office.
Ibig sabihin, dumaan sa inyo lahat ng 800 na yun, hindi nyo inassign sa mga ASEC, USEC.
No, I got some lawyers from the Solicitor General. So, nag-dedicate ako ng isang room sa kanila. So, pinaresolve ko lahat ng 8. Anong epekto nun? Meron akong 800 na kaibigan, meron akong 800 na kaaway. Ang point ko lang doon, you can never please everyone, lalo na when you're in government. So every so often may sasalubong sa akin, Attorney Al, Secretary Al, salamat ha kasi when you were acting Secretary of Justice, na-dismiss yung case. Ako hindi ko alam kasi faceless.
You're blind to the personalities
yung
involved.
Yung iba naman, pag nakasalubong, Attorney Al, ba't naman ganun ang ginawa mong desisyon dun sa review? Sabi ko, alam nyo, paumanhin na, hindi ko tinitignan yung mga pangalan. So, ganun. Hindi lahat napapaligaya mo based on their
True,
own.
oo. But government service has its own rewards.
Of
Ano
course.
po ang ano sa tingin nyo? Kasi for people of your credentials, and a lot of people nakilala ko mga abogado or kahit na hindi abogado with sterling credentials, they shy away from government service. Pero meron pong kakaibang reward or sense of fulfillment that government service brings you. How do you explain it?
Number one, impact.
Impact.
You're able to affect lives of people. And therefore, ibang uri ng level ng responsibility yun. No? Kasi whatever you do or you don't do will have an impact, good or bad. Number two, for me, I'm a better teacher because of my government service. And of course, I'm also a better teacher because I'm a much better student kasi I still study. Friends, I now have good network. Of course, dun sa mga natulungan ko pala na hindi ko without
you knowing.
me knowing. So, every so often, marami akong naging estudyante na nasa OSG, na nasa OGCC. Kahapon, I had one meeting. Sir, do you remember me? Sabi ko, I was your former student.
Grabing impact.
Yeah.
Not just to parties and cases, but people you've worked with, people you've helped.
And let me connect. Yung creating an impact, hindi lang yon sa government service. Even in my life as a sports official, I'm able to make lives better. Kaya, if I may, for us Obstacle Sports, Pilipinas Obstacle Sports Federation, our vision, our mantra is, meron kaming hand signal.
Ano yung hand signal na yun, sir?
Building better humans together.
Ang galing.
So we build better humans, better quality of life.
Sa POSF po ito.
Yes.
Now, we go to a topic I'm
Okay.
excited to talk about kasi pareho kami ni Sir Al na mahilig sa sports, obstacle sports
Yes.
or OCR, obstacle course racing.
Okay.
Yan po ang tawag.
But let me clarify lang,
Yeah.
no? OCR or obstacle course racing is just a sub-sport or
right,
discipline. The bigger sport is obstacle sports.
Obstacle sports kasi marami pang...
Maraming iba pang sub-sports.
Correct.
And let me...
Sige sir,
halimbawa,
pakipaliwanag ito.
Ninja. Short course, pero may obstacles. Okay? Okay? Meron kaming OCR long and OCR short.
Short.
Yung long is anywhere from 15 kilometers, half marathon, up to 100 kilometers with obstacles. Meron kaming OCR short, 3 kilometers to 10 kilometers. Meron din kaming adventure racing. May obstacles, may trail, may rock climbing, may rappelling, may mountain bike, may swimming.
Wow.
Okay. Para siyang more than triathlon.
Correct.
Meron kaming parkour, yung mga tumatalon-talon, nag-i-exhibit. And so there are 5 sub-sports, no? And for us in obstacle sports, we have 5 national teams for these 5 sports.
5 different sports.
And we also have a national team for adaptive or para-athletes, athletes with disabilities. We have a national team for youth.
For kids.
For kids. Kasi we promote obstacle sports for the youth. No? So meron kaming Ninja Bulilit or OCR Bulilit as young as 4 years old. And on the other side, meron kaming masters and seniors.
To which I belong.
Nauna na ako doon. And,
of course, si Sir
so,
is a champion. Yeah, has won many competitions.
So, yun lang. Konting paliwanag about obstacle sports kasi we promote another hand signal, no? Obstacle sports for all everywhere. So, kasi that's what we do.
And it's a sport na I think is accessible enough. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo kailangang maging mayaman na tao and to have, access to high-tech gear or equipment
Alam ba during
to be
pandemic,
engaged in.
kasi ang daming mga online exercises, ang practice ko sa obstacle sports yun, inaakyat ko yung aming gate.
Yung nag-akyat bahay kayo?
Oo. So,
kasi parang hurdle siya eh.
Yes.
So,
and kasi may mga 8-foot wall sa obstacles. May 3, may 4, may 6.
Ito po yung nakikita natin na napapanood natin kung minsan sa TV o kung nagawi po kayo dyan sa Quezon City sa may Bridgetown. Ito yung may makikita kayo doon na may mga monkey bars. Merong, anong tawag niyo sir doon sa yung aakyat ka sa net? Oo, tapos
A-frame.
bababa. A-frame.
Kasi parang siyang letter A.
Correct. Tapos merong mga bubuhatin na mabibigat na parang semento ng bola.
Or
na bola,
sandbag.
Or sandbag, right? And ano pa ba? Pinaka-challenging sa akin, sir, yung monkey bars. Kasi as a runner, because I'm into running, yun ang pinakamahina ko talaga. Yung mag-monkey bar at actually mag-dead hang nga lang nahihirapan
kasi
ako
you must be able to carry yourself.
That's right.
Kaya yung iba sa umpisa nagbi-blisters.
Totoo.
Kasama naman yan eh.
Correct.
Kasama sa obstacle sports.
At marami rin na-i-endure yung mga hindi handa.
Hindi handa kasi binibigla. Kaya mahalaga yung coaching, mahalaga yung sariling fitness. So,
and shout out to my coach, si Coach Tolitz Divina
yes.
na pumilit sa akin to get into obstacle sports.
And Coach Tolitz now is one of our national coaches.
Right.
And he used to be a national team member when we first joined the Southeast Asian Games noong 2019.
He's a SEA Games gold medalist.
Yes,
di po ba?
yes. Di naman sa nagyayabang, pero nagyayabang na rin konti. Noong 2019 Southeast Asian Games, there were 6 events. Itong 2023 Southeast Asian Games, there were 4 events in Cambodia. So there are 10 events. And to date, we brought home 10 gold medals.
Amazing. So tayo po ba top-notcher? Or near the top-notcher?
In Southeast Asia.
In Southeast Asia. We are.
Kaka-champion lang natin sa world event. And Guinness World Records we also hold.
On what?
On the short course na Ninja.
On the short course na Ninja. Amazing. So we're the top in Asia and even world champion and Guinness World Record holder. So really, this is a sport that we can excel in.
Yes. Like any other sport, mahalaga syempre ang programa, mahalaga ang coaching.
Oo. So yun ang natatanungin ko sa inyo. Paano ang isang abogado, ang isang professor, ang isang expert on election law, etc., etc. Paano kayo na-involved muna dito sa POSF?
So when I was in government the first time
Oo,
around,
oo.
I was not healthy. I was big.
Sir, nakita ko kayo noon. Oo, nakita ko kayo noon.
Yes.
Medyo hefty, if I may put
I
it
was
that
fat.
way.
I was fat. Wala na sa gobyerno and sabi ko, what will I do to myself? Because at that time, I was turning 50. Okay.
Midlife crisis ba yan?
Siguro,
Oo.
hanggang ngayon.
Or post-midlife.
So, sabi ko, I want to lose 50 pounds on my 50th birthday.
50
On my
pounds.
50th birthday.
How heavy were you at that time?
I was 237.
237.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
And knowing me, because I'm really want to outperform myself in excellence, I lost 70 pounds. Yeah. But yung iba na-regain.
Over how long?
Over
Over a period of
6-month period.
So
may
kaya?
kaya.
70 pounds
Yeah,
sa loob
may-
ng 6 months, pwede malose.
May doctor, may gym.
Siyempre, you
may
have to
sports.
be under the supervision of
Yeah.
a doctor.
So sabi ko nun, aside from gym, running.
Running.
May nagsuggest sa akin, biking. Hindi ako pinayagan ng wife ko mag-bike. Saan ako napunta? Obstacle sports.
Meron na nun.
Yes, internationally marami na. Pero
Locally.
locally wala pa at that time. So I
Okay.
joined my first obstacle event in the States in 2016. Then, nagkaroon na ng mga events dito. Then we formed the federation end of 2016. So we were incorporated nung January of 2017. So our organization is fairly
So you
young.
were among the incorporators. In fact, kasama po kayo sa...
I was the first president and the
You were the
president till now.
Kaya nga, sinasabi ko, sir, you single-handedly elevated the sport kasi kayo talaga yung nagsimula nito. So
But
you,
it really is team effort.
I can imagine,
I cannot do
eventually.
it on my own.
So POSF is a private corporation,
It's a non-stock,
non-stock, non-profit corporation.
it's the National Sports Association.
It's an NSA. Pero when you formed it, the objective was to make it really an NSA.
Yes.
Ah.
So we had to go through the process,
Okay.
have ourselves affiliated with the International Federation,
Right.
then apply with the Philippine Olympic Committee.
Philippine Olympic Committee.
Then at some point, we got the support already from the Philippine Sports
Commission.
Commission. So up to this very day, we're fortunate that we get some financial support from
From the
government,
PSC,
from
from government.
PSC, yes.
But alam naman natin na ang financial support that we can get from PSC and from the government, limited po yan, diba? It's barely enough to really compensate even our athletes. You are able to raise funds from private.
Kasi even before PSC
agencies.
support, we were fending for ourselves.
Paano, sir? How do you do it?
Sponsorships
Sponsorship.
and personal funds sa umpisa.
Sinasabi ko na nga ba, even personal funds, ano?
Kasi
Oo.
when you value something, you will
Invest in it.
do everything, do what it
To make it work.
To make it work.
Oo.
Kasi for the first ilang years din kami without government
Funding.
support. Yeah. But
Bago kayo naging NSA.
yes, no, NSA na kami.
NSA na,
But
wala
that did
pa
not
rin.
stop us from excelling.
Right. Ipaliwanag natin, sir, bakit importante itong NSA na to at ano ba yung NSA in relation to the athletes that we field sa different international competitions. Kasi sabi nila, halimbawa kung mahusay kang athlete or you're good in obstacle sports, pwede ka bang sumali ka agad sa mga international competitions or do you have to be a member of an NSA? An NSA po is what we call a National Sports Association.
Or
And I
National
believe
Federation, yes.
and I believe there are around 40 NSAs.
40 or so na voting. Kasi sa Philippine Olympic Committee, may
right.
iba't ibang level.
May
the regular
voting.
voting members, the associate, and the recognized.
And they're recognized.
Kami, we started sa recognized. Now we're associate. And we're not a voting regular member yet because
Oo.
hindi pa kami nalalaro sa 2 SEA Games consecutively.
Yun ang requirement.
And kailangan nalaro ka sa Asian Games or kasama ka sa Olympic sport. So yun din yung struggle ko at this point. Umabot sa stage na yon.
himayin po natin yung mga sinabi nyo. So an NSA is a National Sports Association at ito po ay nagko-correspond sa iba-ibang sports.
And-
may basketball, merong
And one NSA,
athletics.
one sport.
One NSA, one sport. So hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng dalawang NSA sa isang sport? Ganun po ba? Or
Hindi. Only one has to be
1:1
recognized
correspondence?
by POC, and that NSA must be affiliated with the international federation. Unfortunately, there are sports na may iba't ibang international federations.
So you have to be affiliated with all? Ganun po ba?
With one, kasi hindi ka
With
naman
at least
tatanggapin sa iba.
one.
Ang tanong,
Right.
sino doon ang recognized ng International Olympic Committee and other accrediting bodies?
Right. Oo.
So struggle
maraming
din.
proseso.
Yeah.
Sige sir, paliwanag nyo sa akin. So, sa sport na OCR, kayo po ang NSA.
Yes.
And right now, you are a recognized but yet not yet affiliate. Associate, but non-voting. As an NSA, ano po yung pwede ninyong gawin?
What we do, we have a lot of events. We just publish our calendar. We have 2 or 3 events every month. We have
Local events.
Yeah, local and international. We are going to send our national athletes in 5 more international events for the remainder of the year. So magpapadala kami sa Croatia. Right now, yung aming parkour athletes pupunta ng Portugal. Magpapadala kami sa Abu Dhabi, sa Dubai, sa Japan. So nakalinya lahat yon. Hindi lahat yon supported by PSC. Yung iba doon from our internal funds. Kasi ang advice ko naman sa NSA, do not be totally dependent to
On
a
the
single
PSC.
source of funding. Kasi
Right.
what if kinulang bigla ang budget ng
Correct.
gobyerno?
But that's easier said than done. How do you raise funds? Are the athletes raising the funds themselves,
No.
or is it the association, the
That should
POSF?
not be their responsibility.
It should not
Dapat
be
ang
their
focus lang nila
responsibility. Oo.
is their
Mag-train.
sport, minsan love life, or family life.
Correct. Oo.
Dapat ma-unburden natin sila sa allowance. 18 of our 30 or so national athletes are supported by Philippine Sports Commission. So yung ibang national athletes namin na hindi supported by the Philippine Sports Commission, internal funding ang nabibigay namin sa kanila, although not as much.
Yun pong pag-raise ng funds, and I'm talking about private funding po, kasi alam nga natin limitado ang pwedeng isuporta ng PSC. How difficult is it?
May mga foundations na nagbibigay ng support, may mga companies na nagbibigay ng support, financial or ex-deal. Maraming apparel, shoes na nagbibigay ng support, maraming drinks na nagbibigay ng support. Yung iba kaibigan nagbibigay ng suporta. So pag may events ka, pwede ka merong sponsorships. Funding is an obstacle.
It's an obstacle, and I think a talent. Di po ba hindi lahat magaling mag-raise ng funds?
And like any other obstacle,
Oo.
kailangan marunong ka how to overcome it and learn from previous obstacles, no? So
And I think the funders also would want to see na mapagkakatiwalaan yung
And-
pinupondahan nila.
and normally naman kaya ka magbibigay ng pondo dahil napopromote din yung kumpanya mo,
Right.
'di ba? So yung iba naghahanap din ng performance. Kaya
Ibig sabihin na nanalo sa mga
Nananalo.
competitions.
Kaya-
Oo.
marami kaming atleta na endorsers din ng
Correct.
iba't ibang produkto because of their performance. Pero bago ka umabot dun sa performance, kailangan din kami mag-invest sa kanila. Kasi how can we sell an athlete kung wala pa silang performance?
Correct.
Kaya yung mga developmental programs, grassroots programs like for youth, struggle din yun. Normally, hopefully we get some funding also from PSC,
From
from the
PSC.
Department of
Right.
Education. Kasi we're introducing obstacle sports as part of the PE program. So,
Sir, yun. Paano kayong nakakahanap ng atleta na isasama sa program ninyo? I would think, syempre, grassroots is a good source. Talagang pupunta ka sa grassroots at hahanap ka ng potential talent na pwedeng magbigay ng dangal sa bansa natin. How do you do it?
okay. Obstacle sports compared to other sports is a
Oo.
timed event. Hindi siya katulad halimbawa ng gymnastics or karate or something. Kami, pabilisan. So parang athletics, di ba? Pabilitan sa 100 meters, sa 5K, sa 10K, etc. Kaya madaling i-measure. Okay. Kaya kami, all our athletes went through qualifying races.
You hold qualifying
Yes,
races. So,
every
pwedeng
year.
mag-audition, kumbaga.
We have 5
Oo.
qualifying races every year. So lahat yun may point system.
So, like ako, interesado ako. I'll just train. I can train.
Yes,
And then, pwede akong sumali in
Yes,
any of the
yes.
qualifying races.
race.
Oo.
And
And be an
salihan mo yun,
Oo.
lahat.
Kailangan salihan lahat.
Or 3 of the 5. Then
3 of the
kukunin natin
5.
yung pinakamataas mong points out of the 3. Kasi ang ayoko is subjectivity.
Right.
Ayoko yung favoritism and discrimination.
Surgeon, papasok yung ang daming palagi kong nadidinig na para,
Palakasan.
para maging athlete ka, para mapadala ka sa mga international competitions, merong politics. Sobrang plagued by politics daw ang Philippine sports, and that's why we're not able to maximize our talent. Ano po bang katotohanan doon? At saan po pasok ang politika at paano ma-avoid?
Again, I can only speak for
POSF.
Kaya kami, before you can even become a national athlete, you must go through these qualifying events. Ibig sabihin,
Hindi pwedeng dahil anak ka ni ganito,
No.
pinakiusap ka ni ganito.
No,
Oo.
sorry. Number 2, hindi ibig sabihin na national athlete ka na, pwede ka na maging complacent. Kasi may mga performance trials pa kami, even for our national athletes.
So, national athlete ka ngayon, hindi ka national athlete forever.
Correct.
You always have to continue
to
complying
join
with the
the
requirement.
qualifying events. Kasi,
Taon-taon.
yes, you might be a national athlete this year, pero what if tamad ka na?
Correct.
Or merong ibang naging mas mabilis sa'yo. And therefore, hindi ka dapat magpahinga or mag-relax.
And to be a high-level athlete like that, a national athlete, ito po ba is a full-time undertaking? Pwede po bang halimbawa ako isang estudyante o kaya may full-time job, kumakayod ako para sa pamilya, pwede po ba kung maging national athlete na ganong level, ganong competence, kahit na limited lang yung training time?
Yes. Again, di ba building better humans, not building better athletes? And therefore, when we consider them as human beings, and therefore holistic ang pagtingin, family life, love life, studies. Ako of course, as a teacher, I give premium on studies. Kaya holistic dapat ang pagtingin.
So national athletes are not even required to be full-time, are not even usually full-time.
All our national athletes are not full-time because
Are not full-time.
our athletes are coaches on the side. Meron silang trabaho on the side. Meron silang businesses on the side.
Is it better that way though? Kasi yung mga nakikita nating elite level athletes, halimbawa sa Olympics, yun na lang ang ginagawa nila buong buhay nila, kundi
Kasi may
araw-araw mag-train.
They're funded.
Because they're funded.
In our case, we cannot require them to be full-time without paying them yung salary, quote-unquote.
At hindi pa tayo malapit sa ganong level.
No? Kaya nga, we allow them. Pero pag season na, then we require them to a lot more time for training. Kaya halimbawa, may mga boot camps kami na
Right.
kailangan full-time yon. So, again, balancing. How can you expect them to be full-time if you're not paying them the right amount of allowance for them to give up their work?
Right. You think the government should be giving more financial support? Kasi nalaman ko po, PSC, I thought PSC yung nangingialam kung sino yung mga national athletes, sino yung pinapadala natin sa iba't ibang competitions. Yung pala, ang tanging trabaho ng PSC is to disburse the funds.
Correct. Ang may trabaho to choose the national athletes
Is the NSA.
Then confirmed by the POC.
By the Philippine Olympic
Committee.
Committee, of which you are also a part of.
As a member,
As a member.
associate member yung federation, and I currently chair the arbitration committee
Right.
of the
Oo,
Philippine Olympic Committee.
So you think PSC lacks funding?
Again, alam natin na ngayon, di ba,
Oo.
dumadaan tayo sa budget cycle. You have to
Correct.
defend
Your
your
budget.
budget.
Kasi sir,
And-
nalaman ko, alam nyo na ang entry-level athlete, parang 13,000 lang po yata ang bayad.
Correct.
So, not even
How can
half
you expect him
a
or
call
her?
center agent gets.
Correct.
Oo.
And tataas ka kung nagiging maganda ang performance mo sa Olympics,
Halimbawa,
sa
dumating ka
Asian
na sa
Games.
Carlos Yulo level.
Correct.
Mga ganon.
Marami ka nang. Pero
But even then, I heard ang pinakamataas na bayad sa isang national athlete na ganong level is 75,000 pesos. It's still
hindi ko pa
not
memorize
so
yun kasi
much.
hindi pa kami umabot doon. So, how can you expect them to be full-time?
right.
Kaya we allow them
Mhm.
na to do coaching, to continue with their work. We have lawyers who are national athletes. So, unfair for us to expect.
To what extent po do you as head of the NSA or as their father na, so to speak, siguro sa sport na yan?
Tolitz calls me tatay. No?
Tatay, yun nga po, nadinig ko dawag sa inyo, tatay. To what extent po kayo nangingialam sa personal life ng mga national athletes? To the extent ba na naapektuhan yung kanilang yung kanilang sport?
I don't meddle. Pero minsan nagsasangguni sila sa amin kasi may periodic one-on-one consultation kami with them. Kamusta ka na? Kamusta ang training? Kamusta ang injury? Minsan lokohan, kamusta ang love life? Kamusta ang pamilya? So we do that. Ako and two other officers, very light kamustahan. So that's part of that's part of the process.
The process, oo.
Regular assessment
Kasi
with the
part
coaches.
of guiding the athletes
Yeah,
also. Oo. So, sir, what is your take on I know, ayoko makimarites on the Carlos Yulo issue kasi ang alam ko lang po na issue and I don't want to go deep into the personal aspect of it. Nagkaroon ng controversy dahil as a minor, the athlete that was Carlos Yulo then was getting money from the government and maybe from the NSA and from other sources at dahil minor siya, pumupunta sa magulang yung financial rewards na napupunta sa kanya. And merong aligasyon, hindi natin alam kung totoo o hindi, na ito po ay na-mismanage at nakuha ng magulang kaysa napunta kay Carlos. Kaya hence meron pong hidwaan sa kanila ngayon. How do you think that problem can be addressed? And how, sa inyong kaso, I'm sure there are also minors who are part of POSF or athletes in POSF.
Una, let me say, mahirap maging magulang.
Totoo.
I mean, my kids are athletes. By the way, my daughter now who's a lawyer is number 1 in Asia Pacific for paddle.
Amazing.
She used to be NCAA level 1 collegiate sa States where she took up her
Congratulations.
college. So, ngayon, mas full-time athlete siya rather than a...
Lawyering.
By the way, she's into entertainment law and sports law. So, that was her master's and work before she resigned. So, mahirap maging magulang. Ako as a parent, ang hirap. Sabi ko hanggang ngayon, I'm still maturing as a parent. There was one study na when my daughter was active, kasi she was number 1 in junior tennis before. According to the International Tennis Federation, the number 1 stress factor of kids is the parents. And that's true. I can attest to that. Na mahirap maging magulang. No? And therefore, like any other parent, not just for an athlete, but parent in general, maraming obstacles and challenges. Iba't ibang uri ng magulang in terms of how to manage the funds of their kids. No? At some point, you want them to be independent. No? Nagtatampo naman yung ibang magulang, masyado ng independent, ang tingin, ingrato ka naman sa, pinalaki kita, etc., etc. And as a parent, I don't think I will ever say that. No? I'm here to make my kids happy, to make my family happy. Easier said than done, kaya mahalaga ang constant dialogue.
So sa inyo, walang obligasyon ang anak sa magulang na mag-entrega o ibigay sa kanila
I don't
yung...
even... Kasi right now, our athletes get the allowances from PSC directly.
So you don't meddle at all?
No. In fact, our
whether-
athletes have the freedom to get
So
their
even
own
the
sponsors.
Even the minors po get their salaries
Well, yung wala
directly?
namang kaming minor ngayon.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
And isa kong i-advise, and this is what we're doing, and this is my long advocacy for NSAs, to have a contract with their athletes.
And what's in the contract?
I have a template contract because sports law. I have a template contract, NSA with athlete.
Ano pong nakalagay sa kontrata na yun?
Number 1, may kalayaan. Like any other contract, may rights and responsibilities of the athlete, may rights and responsibilities of the NSA. Example, can we force them to take this particular supplement? No. Can we force them to be a sponsor of this company? No. Kaya all our athletes, iba't iba ang sponsor sa shoes. Iba't iba ang sponsor sa supplements. And whatever they get, sa kanila yun. Wala kaming share doon as POSF. No?
But you can require them to train a certain number of hours a day.
Of course, kailangan coachable, meron kaming sanctions, may monitor their attendance.
Paano kung diva, sir? Halimbawa, mahusay, nagtitrain pero kagalit naman niya lahat ng mga tao doon sa team.
At some point, we will have to say sorry kung hindi ma-manage. You know, mahirap magbalanse. As a parent, as the head of the agency, as head of the National Sports Association, mahirap.
It's a balancing act.
It's
always a balancing act.
Mahirap.
Sir, obstacle sports is not yet an Olympic sport, is it?
Let me clarify that kasi there are ongoing talks between two international federations, the Modern Pentathlon Federation and the World Obstacle. Right now, sa 2028, under the Modern
sa
Pentathlon,
LA Olympics,
under the Modern Pentathlon, kasi Modern Pentathlon, there are 5 sports. Pinalitan na yung equestrian. Ang pinalit na ay obstacle sports.
Okay.
So right now, obstacle sports will be played in 2028 LA Olympics as the 5th discipline of modern pentathlon. So in order for our athletes to be proficient, kailangan may fencing.
The 4 other sports.
Swimming. Kaya ngayon, nagumpisa na kami, we have a fencing coach already.
Wow.
And in the Philippines, there's a Modern Pentathlon Association headed by Congressman Richard Gomez. Kaya very close ang aming...
NSA na din po ba
NSA
sila?
din yun. Yeah.
Okay.
So, ang pangarap namin at tinatrabaho namin, sana sa LA Olympics, aside from obstacle sports being part of the 5 disciplines, meron sanang stand-alone medal sport.
Oo.
Yun ang trabaho ko din at ginagawa ko for the 2025 Southeast Asian Games in Thailand.
Hindi na siya possible sa 2028 Olympics.
No, may chance pa.
May chance pa. Okay. Oo.
May
Pwede
chance pa.
Kasi nga sir, hindi ko rin makita yung relasyon ng OCR sa, halimbawa, fencing, swimming. Hindi siya kalapit. Ano pa po ba yung iba pang sports? Fencing,
laser
swimming?
pistol and running.
Laser pistol or running pwede pa.
Ako naniniwala ako kahit hindi related, tatrabahuhin mo.
Tatrabahuhin kung kinakailangan.
May halos 1 year na yung aming fencing coach. We have a swimming coach. Of course, running, laser pistol, we have to be proficient with that.
Ang hirap palang pangaraping mag-Olympics sa sport.
Kaya nga, we're not
dami.
giving up on our dream. If
Correct.
not in 2028, in 2032, na sana may standalone. For 2025 Southeast Asian Games in Thailand, kasama ang modern pentathlon.
Okay.
Kasama ang obstacle sports.
Hiwalay.
Right now, yun ang aking nilalabi with them. Okay, kasama sa obstacle sports as a modern pentathlon. Pero please, sana po,
correct,
kung kakayanin, and there's a chance, I'm not giving up hope na masama kami as a standalone medal event.
It makes sense kasi the skills that you need for OCR, masyadong iba sa halimbawa laser pistol or fencing. I think may unfairness din, 'di ba? Dahil if it's going to be OCR as a standalone, katulad ng sabi nyo, nako, mukhang aanihin natin, mamomonopolize natin yung mga gold medals dyan.
It's an obstacle being proficient in fencing. It's an obstacle being a swimmer.
Sa bagay.
Kaya yung mga gustong mag-modern pentathlon, ito yung mga triathletes ng...
Right.
Kaya sa obstacle sports kasi yung iba, sports climbers. Yung iba, triathletes. Yung iba, runners. Yung iba, former gymnast. So, ang dami naming athletes.
So for, ako hindi nyo na kailangan kumbinsihin. As soon as I recover from my sprain,
yes,
completely babalik po talaga ako sa OCR training.
And kita-kita tayo doon.
Opo, pupunta ako ulit sa Bridgetown. How will you encourage, we have people listening to us, especially young people who are thinking of a sports activity that they can engage in. Why
Obstacle sports.
obstacle sports.
And why not the other sports?
And why not the other sports?
Alam mo, lahat ng NSAs nagko-compete for the kids. But I think, ang lawak ng base. No? Ako, I believe na you can take up a lot of sports. Then later on, when the kid is mature enough, mamimili yan eh. But give them the opportunity, give them the menu, give them the options.
Wag muna mag-specialize.
Wag muna, lalo na pagbata. No? Wag muna din masyadong pressure. Lalo
What's a good age to start?
For us in obstacle sports,
Oo.
meron kaming Ninja OCR Bulilit, 4, 5-year-old.
4 to 5 years old.
At alam mo, ang nababalitaan ko from the parents and from the teachers, kasi yung mga bata, nagiging resilient even in school. Hindi sila masyadong nag-give up sa bullying, no? Hindi sila quote-unquote lampa.
It builds mental toughness
And kaya,
and grit.
for me, ang closest sport sa buhay is obstacle sports. Kasi in life, ang dami nating
Obstacles.
dinadaan ng obstacle.
Right.
No? Sa obstacle sports, ang dami mong dinadaan ng obstacle. So, complementary siya.
Right.
So, ang gandang connection, life and sports. Kasi naniniwala na ako ang sports ay hindi lang pang sports. No?
Para sa
Sports
boys?
has a
Yeah.
noble purpose.
Right.
Hindi lang yung kabataan, hindi lang yung mayaman, hindi lang yung kalalakihan.
Yung katulad ko, sir, na, na mahigit 50 na and I
Again,
want to start on the sport.
No,
Is it wise? Iisipin ko ba, like, katulad noon, nag-attempt ako, na-sprain yung ankle ko. So, is it even wise? People will tell you, nako, that's too risky na. You're too injury prone. Ano pong masasabi natin dito?
lahat ng sport, kailangan ng training. Sino ba naman ang hindi na-sprain? No? Kaya kailangan patibayan ng ankle, patibayan ang buong katawan, lalo na for obstacle sports. Imagine doing obstacle sports, let's say, 21K or 50K sa trail. Di ba, nag-iiba't iba yung footing. Tapos may obstacles pa. Minsan meron
Yung
akong...
tinatawag nilang good proprioception.
Correct. I did an 21K obstacle event sa snow in Lake Tahoe. So, 2 bundok yun.
Kailan to, sir? Recently lang?
2019, if I'm not
2019,
mistaken.
not too long ago. Oh.
And of course, as Filipinos, hindi tayo sanay sa snow. So, yung unang bundok, may snow. Yung pangalawang bundok, walang snow. So, 21 kilometers yun. I ran for 7 hours and walked for 7 hours.
Naka-spikes kayo nung nasa snow kayo?
Walang,
Not even? Bawal?
yung trail shoes.
Trail shoes lang.
Shoes. So ganun ang buhay, ganun ang obstacle. So
You learn to problem solve. You learn to, have more courage, to muster more courage, to do
and learn
things.
from the previous race, from the previous
You learn from the
obstacle.
previous race. Oh.
And wag nating kalimutan yung mga seniors and masters kasi we have our own category for masters and seniors sa obstacle sports. We have a special team sa POSF joining athletics. Di ba merong masters event na member din
yeah.
ako. We recently formed the Philippine Masters Games Association that I head. Multi-sport yan. Kasi every year, merong International Masters Games Association games. Multi-sport yun. There are 40 sports.
Kasama po ba OCR doon?
Hindi pa.
Hindi
Yun
pa.
din nila
Oo.
tinatrabaho
Oo,
ko.
oo.
So,
usually athletics sports.
Athletics, of course, may racket sports. Kasi aside from obstacle sports, I'm also into throwing and paddle. I'm also. So, magkukompete din ako for
Multi-sports.
obstacle sports and
Paddle.
throwing. I'm competing for my age group.
Para sa mga
paddle,
hindi po nakakaalam, ano po ba yung paddle? Kasi nauuso siya ngayon, pero...
ang dalawang uso ngayon sa
ano
Pilipinas,
po ba yung paddle?
Paddle and pickleball.
And pickleball, right.
Ang paddle lang, para siyang tennis ball.
Oo.
Mas maikli yung raketa konti, pero may walls.
May walls. Okay.
Para siyang pelota na squash.
So, ang hinahampas mo, yung ball, hinahampas mo yung bola sa wall.
No, kalaban, para siyang tennis. Ang kalaban mo nasa kabilang side.
Okay.
Pero pag tumalbog sa wall, pwede mong pang kunin. Kaya medyo ang daming bending, ang daming pivoting for kasi kahit lumagpas sa sayo, pwede mo pang kunin.
Pwede mo pa rin kuhanin.
At ang challenge dun, double wall or single wall. So
Pero
medyo-
alam nyo ba, sir, na I heard recently, I'm into all these health podcasts. The number one sport daw for longevity
is racket sports.
is racket sports.
Correct.
Dahil full body movement.
Yes.
So kung gusto mong humaba ang buhay mo, hanap ka ng racket sports.
Hand and eye.
Hand and
tactics.
eye, yeah. It increases the volume of a certain portion of your brain, yung hand and eye coordination na yan, that helps build neurons and all that. So,
Kasi, yeah.
ang galing.
Kami kasi tennis family. Kaya my daughter excel national nag juniors and aral abroad. Then ngayon nag-shift kami sa paddle. For a time nag-badminton ako.
Mas magaan kasi yung paddle, no, kaysa sa raketa ng tennis. Tama po ba? Hindi naman.
Iba rin kasi yung
Iba
technology
rin. Okay.
ng pickleball racket, ng paddle, ng tennis. So lahat, any sport naman, kailangan mong daanan yung pag-aaral. Kaya hanggang ngayon, hindi lang ako laro ng laro. Meron din akong drills and training. Kasi kailangan naman yun for any sport. If you want to excel,
You have to train. Hindi, walang
yeah,
shortcut.
And
Oo.
kaya one of the things that I believe in is progression, not perfection. No? Kaya, lalo na for
Kahit
for
incremental, kahit unti-unting
Yes.
improvements.
And syempre dapat
every
happy
month.
ka. No? And mas happy
Exactly.
ka, kaya marami ring, kasi for us, it's a family affair. No? Pag nagtutournament yung daughter ko, nanonood kami. So,
Ang
ganun.
saya.
So, kailangan may support system in any obstacle.
That's true. That's so very well said, sir. Ano po ang mission and vision nyo pa? After all these accomplishments na in so many fields already, especially in sports, your legacy is there already. It's in place. Ano pa po yung nakikita nyong mission and
For me,
vision nyo?
Doing better with a purpose. Better for me to be a better student, for me to be a better teacher, professor, to build better humans in sport, impact in whatever I do. Kaya nga ako yun, di ba? Good is the enemy of the better. I frown upon mediocrity in anything I do, and even sa family, and even where I am, where I'm involved in. Okay is never okay. I mean, to some extent, okay is okay because you're okay, but okay is never enough. Good is never enough. And dapat may purpose. Hindi naman dapat schizophrenic ka na you just move for the sake of moving.
All directions.
All directions. No, kailangan may dahilan. At yung dahilan mo dapat malalim. Noble purpose of creating an impact, better quality of life, better humans, active lifestyle, and do not forget the self. It's never just for others. Mahalaga yung love for self and love for family, of course. So,
Salamat, Attorney Al. Sir Al, you're truly not just a path breaker, a path maker. This has been so inspiring and I learned so much from you.
and sa ganito mga platform, this is my first podcast guesting. Kasi through social media, through traditional media, through teaching, through my art cards, I'm able to help build better humans. Maraming salamat, Attorney Star. You continue to be a star in lawyering and now in building better lives.
Thank you, sir, and see you in the obstacle course soon.
And I don't want to see you in court.
No more.
No more. So maraming salamat
Sige
sa
po.
pagkakataong binigay mo sa akin to be with everyone else.
Salamat din po. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Star.